A show based on the facts, honesty, the man, the myth, the legend. ChristiTutionalist Joseph M. Leonard.
Welcome to ChristiTutionalist Politics Podcast, aka CTP, in association with thelibertybeacon.com, and I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard, and that's Leonard. CTP is your no muss, no fuss, just me, you, and occasional guest type podcast. Really appreciate you tuning in. As Graham Norton would say, let's get on with the show! Hello, gang. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 75, Abortion, the Profit Motive Side. This is another one of those, in my head, I'm not quite sure what to say and how to say it, how far to push it, but if it isn't obvious to some, it's a necessity to talk about. I would say then this might be a very short show, but those of you who are regulars know I've said that before, and they lined up being one of my longer shows. For the benefit of the transcript, I'm laughing out loud at myself and I guess my inability to gauge how it's going to go. But I've told you before, right? No muss, no fuss, me and you, I hit record and then I go. And it's that way with the Wednesday guest shows, too. Guest comes on, I have an idea what I'm going to talk about, and then it just goes where it goes, whatever rabbit hole's open. But indeed, ready? Bet you know what I'm about to say. Start that counter at any rate. I'm holding page 1 for benefit of those on the behind-the-scenes video. You can see page 1 there, abortion, the profit motive for the corresponding, correlating, and in conjunction with this show, thelibertybeacon.com piece by the same title, Abortion, the Profit Motive Side. And to start that off, I think, normally I don't like doing this, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just read the first paragraph. But again, there will always be things in the article that are not in the show and things in the show that are not in the article. That's why they are corresponding and correlating and in conjunction with each other. Right? I got a few notes, but let's start with this. Brief, quick, to the point, wanting you to ponder beyond that. Think for yourself about the whole and overall broader picture of things. In this case, murdering of babies. While the left promotes murdering our own children, out the other side of their mouths say need open borders flood to deal with, help with growth. I mean, that's just one of the contradictions right there, right? And the other thing is, too, off the page here now. Oh, my God, we got to confiscate all the guns for the children. Oh, my God, for the children. You don't care about children. You're slaughtering them by the millions. At any rate, there's number 2. Back to the print. It is, of course, all their BS duplicity, all about undermining and destruction of USA from within. And if you go to the article, you'll see here on the page behind the video, that's in blue. That means there's another rabbit hole via hyperlink that you can go down from there, too. At any rate, that's number 3, right? The left, just like they want to steal and spend your money, want others killing their children, but they do not theirs. Let me reread that again with the proper context and what's the word I'm looking for? With the proper, whatever. You know what I mean. Say it in a way that it is said like it's meant to read. Want others killing their children, but they do not theirs. There we go. Emphasis. Emphasis is the word I was looking for. Hey, thank you, Lord. The word finally came. That's the proper emphasis, right? No problem. They want you killing your children, but they don't theirs. Why is that? Might it be the profit motive side? Oh, have you never thought of that? All right, I lost my place on the sheet there, not theirs, and the like, exclamation point. Do as they say, not as they do, right? Does that not sum up the hypocrisy right there? They want you focus on their empty rhetoric and ignore their actions, like the climatardism 2, another sub hyperlink rabbit hole you could go down from thelibertybeacon.com piece, and related micro versus macro, which you can find on thelibertybeacon.com or beforeitsnews.com. So indeed, at any rate, I think that's up to 4 now. I swear I really ought to put a counter up, right, as we've joked about in prior episodes, but I shouldn't be laughing. This is not a laughing matter, right? I try to not get too deep, too heavy at times with you all. But seriously, with what I just said, with what I just read, the point about they're happy with a whole bunch of people killing their children, but they don't kill theirs. If you don't see the hypocrisy in that, and then the point of beyond that, why? What are the motives, right? The profit motive, the money laundering. And we're going to get into the whole why was Planned Parenthood founded by Margaret Sanger to begin with in a minute. But my friend Bruce Fleury, the author of the book, I'll mention in a minute. Those behind the scenes, you already seen the book cover there now. But profit, money laundering, right? They want to use steal tax dollars to fund anyone and everyone's abortion that wants to have one and use it as a contraception rather than the last ditch, last resort, safe, legal, and rare option that they pretend they want it to be. They don't. It is a profit center for them. They want to publicly fund it with your money, and then the planned slaughterhoods launder a good amount of that money back to the Democrat Party campaigns. Do you not see how this works? Now, majority in this audience, I know you probably already know what I'm talking about here, right? But there are people who need to hear this. Obviously, share this show, right? Yeah, I joke, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe. Oh, I hate all those YouTube video people. Always like, share, subscribe. But yes, it's a necessity of the modern reality of how YouTube, Rumble, I'm on BitChute, Brighteon, as well as Daily Motion, and some sound bites of the show go up on Vimeo. It's the reality of things, though. You've got to get the traffic, got to grow the traffic. This is about getting the message out. My video channels are not monetized. I'm not making money by you coming to YouTube or Rumble or BitChute, Brighteon, Daily Motion, Vimeo. I don't make a penny out of any of these that I put up there. This is about the message. But yes, sorry, indeed, if you don't know, my bad health, I'm on disability. So yes, sorry, it does take money that I don't have, money I'm willing to try to spend in small amounts to get these messages out. indeed why I say there's no highfalutin, high production stuff here. I can't afford it. At any rate, back to what we're really supposed to be talking about. Safe, legal, rare. It's always been a lie. It's always been a lie. In Michigan, Prop 3 that put abortion into our state constitution stripped away protections of the abortion mills being regulated. So now it's anyone, anytime, any place, by anyone with a coat hanger. It's less safe. It's certainly less rare. It's only legal. That's the only thing out of the three they ever really cared about of the safe, legal, rare argument. Because the other thing is less than 1%. Do you know what I mean by that? Do you know where I'm going with that? The left, this last election, you saw it, and I wrote a piece on beforeitsnews.com. I think it was the sneak preview of the abortion, the profit motive side, that I was planning for this after the election for CTP and the Liberty Beacon. I lost my train of thought. Less than 1%. I know I was there, but I was going to say something else. Child trafficking. I don't want to forget to say that. So while this may be a non sequitur segue, child trafficking, how is there any difference in the left turning a blind eye to the human trafficking coming through the open border, trafficking young girls from other nations coming into our nation illegally to be trafficked into the sex trade for money, than it is abortion? The profit motive side is child trafficking for profit. Instead of trafficking into the sex trade, it's traffic them to Planned Slaughterhood so they can amass tons of money that help the Democrat campaigns. But less than 1%. What do we mean? Safe, legal, and rare, they don't mean it. And the rare part, the fake lying ads, that's where I was going with this. Thank you, Lord. The fake lying ads again. The woman that was literally at the DNC convention with her child. I was told if I had my baby, I would die. You're standing on the stage with your baby. You just shown your lie. You're making the pro-life point. Modern medicine, preemie babies at younger and younger ages are able to survive. And as C. Everett Koop has said for decades now, and is the case, the life of the mother fallacy that the other ads lie about. And, I might die. No, if there's an issue that you need to birth the child to save the mother, as C. Everett Koop has said, as a surgeon, as former U.S. Surgeon General, you do an emergency C-section. And then you have two patients. One team takes care of the mother, another team takes care of the child. There was no need to murder that child to save that mother. Never was, never will be. And the point of the less than 1%, if you take rape, incest, and the supposed life of the mother combined, is less than 1% of all abortions. They are for convenience. In a day and age when all kinds of contraception is available, a lot of cases for free, you could literally use an IUD, make the man wear a condom, and be on the pill at the same time. 3 forms and layers for that reproductive right in order to prevent the reproduction, because once reproduction has occurred, it is not your body, your choice. It is another human there that's in question. The reproduction ended. So when are we as humans going to stop tolerating the endless amount of lies that come from the left on this issue? All these ads, I would have died, but nope, there you are with your baby. Proving my point, proving our point, and less than 1% of all abortions, because it's a profit motive operation, a money laundering operation, a child trafficking operation. Before I forget, I've got Bruce written down here. As you can see, one of the images in the article behind the scenes there, picture of the communist from Bloomberg via Getty Images. But Bruce Flory, my friend, Wham Radio, one of the co-hosts of Abolitionist Roundtable, Saturdays, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. You could go to whamradio.com.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Wham Radio, 1600 AM and 92.7 FM is your conservative flamethrower. Weekdays, Steve Gruber starts things off at 6 a.m. Gruber gives his perspective on the issues of the day. At 9 a.m., Glenn Beck blazes the airwaves with his nationally syndicated program. From noon to 3, it's Dennis Prager. At 3 o'clock, it's Wham's own Tyrone X. On the Edge, Tyrone tells it exactly as he sees it. At 6, it's The Dana Show, your conservative alternative. At 8, don't miss Joe Pags. Weekends are filled with conservative talk as well. Fingers Malloy, Thomas LeDuc, The Abolitionists Roundtable, A Moment of Clarity with Pastor Rick, Your American Heritage with Ed Bondarenka, Dave Janda's Operation Freedom, and Dick Kupke's Trigger Talk. You can even get links to Wham podcasts from Dave, Dick, and of course Tyrone, all from their pages on our website, whamradio.com. Keep it locked on Wham Radio, 1600 AM and 92.7 FM in southeastern Michigan, and whamradio.com anywhere in the world.
ART every Saturday. There's a listen live button on whamradio.com, and you can hear Blues Flurry. Now, Bruce Flurry, along with the main host, Black conservative Phil Stargell, and yes, Abolitionist Roundtable, based on the GOP as the Abolitionist Party and abolitionist of slavery, and wanting to also indeed abolish at least the 99% of these profit motive abortions and have people engage in actual contraception, so there is no reproduction. But anyway, let me say it right. At any rate, and I think that's number 6, Bruce Flurry, The Negro Project. You can see me holding it up behind the scenes here. The Negro Project. Let me read the subtitle so I get it right. Margaret Sanger's diabolical, duplicitous, dangerous, disastrous, and deadly plan for Black America. And the foreword, written by another great Black conservative patriot, Ron Edwards, which, if you know this show, you're a regular Ron Edwards, you should remember the name from the Rising Tides and his interjection into the racism of leftist economics, rather the suppression of Blacks through economics. And as Candace Owens, Black female, former leftist, now a Republican, I think she's still liberal on a lot of things, but as she says, it's just the new left demo KKK rats plantation. It's just an economic plantation. So at any rate, indeed, Bruce has the definitive book on Margaret Sanger and why still today majority of the planned slaughterhoods are where there are. Do I need to say more? That more Black babies are still aborted disproportionate to population, to what's the per per capita. Per capita is the term I'm looking for there. And that's not without reason, but they're open to anyone who wants to kill their child. Why? Because they're profit motivated, even though they say they're anti-capitalist and anti-free market, anti-American, but the profit motive side, they'll kill any baby as long as they're getting paid for it. So these people are hypocrites all the way around. So indeed, please, I want you to consider, if you don't have a copy of Bruce Fleury, I love and want you to buy my books, obviously, but I've mentioned Neil Mammon's Jesus is Involved in Politics before, other guests that have been on, their music, their books. I want you to buy that. I want you to buy mine. I want you to buy a copy of Bruce Fleury's The Negro Project, available, of course, on Amazon. And you could tell, as the saying goes, you could tell you're over the target when you're getting flack. Please, I urge you to read some of the ridiculous, delusional, left-wing, emotion-based, devoid of any logic, reason, or facts responses, attacks that, quote unquote, are reviews. Mostly when you see a negative, assume they never read the book, as they probably have not. As I say in CTP 2 book, the quotations chapter, yes, mostly famous quotes, famous people, couple Joe originals, but of the left, I say, the left knows. No, I'm screwing up my own quote. The left, they don't know, they don't want to know, because they do know just enough that if they actually knew, their delusional bubble would be burst. And there's a couple other, relatable quotes like that in there from me to go along with the famous quote. They know, they refuse to acknowledge, and they refuse to deal in the facts. It's why everything has to be disguised in emotional, hysteric, snowflake feelings. So indeed, at any rate, is that number 7? I got to get that counter. I'm 22 minutes-ish in here. I indeed thought it was going to be shorter than this, but I will indeed not feel. Oh, please. But if I say I feel something, slap me upside the head. I think, I hope, I pray I got all the major important points needed across here, so that you will go check out on thelibertybeacon.com the other thoughts therein of abortion, the profit motive side there. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. As 2 Chronicles 7:14, other articles I've written and have coming. No, you cannot rest. 2 Chronicles 7:14. Pray, turn from wicked ways. I shall heal your land. People want to gloss over that turn from wicked ways part. That means we get off our butts, do things, not just whine and moan online, do things to turn the nation from wicked ways. God shall hear and help heal our land, not just wave magic wand and do it just because we prayed. And as I've said on another show, we have to advocate for positive things. Speaking of Wham Radio, Saturday, let me look at my calendar. This show is for Saturday, the 23rd of November. I was on Your American Heritage Show with Ed Bondarenka, another friend of mine on Wham Radio. His show is normally Saturdays from 2 to 3, starting December 7th. He's going 2 hours from 1 to 3 Eastern Time. Whamradio.com. Again, listen live button. But on his 16th of November show, I was on advocating for a new extension of Contract of America. I wrote years after that, years before now, Contract from America. Now the We the People demand list. To keep people involved, you've got to advocate for things, not just whine about things. You must sow to reap, or you're complicit in the evil we're all reaping. Shall be known by our fruits, right? Actions. We must act. So advocate for We the People demand list. We're not going to agree on all of them in the list. That's not the point. The point is keeping people active and involved, and that we have finally real discussions, at least on all the items that are therein. There is a We the People demand list at change.org petition with about 20 items, but the beforeitsnews.com article, We the People demand list, is up to 46 items, I think, at this point. But I was on with Ed on the 16th talking about We the People demand list, and this is off the abortion profit motive side point, but a point needs to be made. So you voted. So what? And I hope you're looking at behind the scenes, me leaning into that, saying to you, if it's you, you went back to the couch. I voted. I did my. So what? That's not all there is for us, we the people, to do. It says we the people, not him, the Donald Trump, or those in D.C. We the people must be active and engaged. It's our complacency and not paying attention and not staying on top of things over decades of time that allowed us to get to here where we are today, right? So you voted, so what? As the church lady from SNL, and I'll get to that in a second, would say, isn't that special, right? Seriously. And the reason I use church lady, because the Saturday Night Origin story is out in theaters, and I wrote a piece on that. That just dropped. Where was that? On the 16th, the same day I was on the show with Ed, the 16th, last week, relating to when this show will drop on the 23rd at thelibertybeacon.com or beforeitsnews.com. There was a sneak peek of it there before that. And before that, the week of the 9th, No, You Cannot Rest. Part 1. Part 2's coming later. So people, the point, right? Pray. Turn from wicked ways. I shall hear, help heal land. Turn from wicked ways means we, the people, must do things, and God will help. At any rate, I think that's number 8. I think I've actually kept proper track of some of this stuff. I'm sorry. Again, these things are no laughing matter, but since I did that again, let me make the point too. At thelibertybeacon.com, there's no corresponding show that goes with it. The need to keep a sense of humor, and we've got to be able to laugh at ourselves, or we got no business laughing at others. But in general, if we don't laugh, we'll go crazy. So with that, reminder, abortion, the profit motive side, please go to thelibertybeacon.com and check out the corresponding article there. Thank you all. Take care. God bless, and may God bless America again. And since we're getting closer, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. And no, I don't get upset if somebody says Happy Holidays to me, because I'm a Christian, not a jerk. I say Happy Holidays to you too, because they might be talking about Thanksgiving or New Year's or Hanukkah or whatever. Let's not be jerks. And the whole Merry Xmas thing too. While I'm at it, let's throw one. Christos Mas. Xmas is not an insult. Christos Mas abbreviation. Let us fight the real battles we need to be fighting, not these. Cultural war is an issue. Cultural Marxism is an issue, but getting upset because Target was saying Happy Holidays is now saying Merry Christmas again. But why? But why? The profit motive side? Did they really have a change of heart, or are they trying to fool you and hoping you'll forget about that whole pedophilia grooming stuff they had in the kids aisle a few years ago? So is it a genuine wish of Merry Christmas, or is it, oh my, if we say that, maybe they'll forget about that? Okay, so I didn't mean to have that thrown in there, but it fits perfectly with profit motive side on all of that. Are we thinking our way through things, or are we feeling? And like Dana White and Bud Light, he let them now advertise on his fight programming. And he said, I could have got more money out of, like, say, Miller Brewing than I am Anheuser-Busch for Bud Light because they're hurting. But he truly believes, he says, that they've had a change of heart. They recognize they made a mistake. They listened to bad advice from a new hire, some idiot out of university, only concerned with woke agenda, doesn't really know anything about business. They took bad advice. They took a wrong turn. They're truly sorry. I believe Dana when he says it. I don't really drink much because of my health, so my chance of getting a Bud Light is slim anyway, because my chance of buying a beer anywhere, I maybe drink 4 beers over the course of an entire year. But indeed, at any rate, let's indeed wrap it up. I'm glad I had the chance to go down those last rabbit holes. And again, I was going to say I apologize, but really I don't. It's kind of the point of this show. Me, you, a discussion, and where the rabbit holes open and lead to. We go, not a scripted show. I could have just read to you the article. What good would that do? This show correlates and corresponds with the piece, because what I've said to you in the last 10, 15 minutes ain't in that article. There's some other stuff in that article, though, that will be there that I've not said to you today, not articulated to you today, not thought to share. Indeed, happy holidays. Let's not get upset about that. I am a Christian, which means I understand not everything is about me and mine. Hubris, people. Let us remember the sin of hubris and indeed insisting everything be about us. Let's be better Christians. Happy holidays is perfectly fine. Take care. God bless. Hey, gang, a brief interruption in the show about Christmas giving, kind of, sort of, or to ask, are you a coffee drinker? What about other coffee drinkers you know? It's indeed Christmas giving time, Hanukkah giving time. Again, I want to ask you, those coffee drinkers on your gift giving list, socks that'll get put in a drawer, they forgot you gave them, a tie or a shirt that'll end up buried in the back of the closet, they forgot you gave them. How about something useful, like Blackout Coffee? Yes, I am partnering with Blackout Coffee. You can use promo code JOSEL20, Joseph for Joseph, L20 for 20% off. JOSEL20 promo code. Or better yet, I've created a shortcut, tinyurl.com/blackoutcoffees. And of course, blackout coffees all run together as one word, not three separate words. So again, tinyurl.com. I love using their shortcut services. /blackout coffees should take you right in and automatically apply your 20% discount. So for yourself or for others, this Christmas, give Blackout Coffee something you know they're going to use, something they're going to enjoy, something that they then fondly remember you and your gift every time they sip from the Blackout Coffee cup of coffee. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Merry Christmas. Thank you for having tuned in for ChristiTutionalist Politics Show. If you haven't already, please check out my primary internationally available book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you. Available anywhere books are sold. If you have locally run bookstores still near you, they can order it for you, or autographed copies are available online direct from me via terrorstrikes.info/shop. Be sure to check out more about today's discussion at thelibertybeacon.com, where my articles drop every Saturday. And let me remind, over time, the fancy high production items will come, but for now, for starters, it's just you as a very appreciated listener by me. All substance, no fluff, just straight to key discussion points. A show that looks at a variety of topics, mostly politics, through a Christian U.S. constitutionalist lens. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Take care. God bless. Like and subscribe to ChristiTutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help.
It is a myth that terrorism stopped during COVID. Unfortunately, mainstream media opted to prioritize pandemic hysteria over promoting all news. Terrorism continues. Simply hoping that it doesn't affect you is not a strategy. The new book, Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you, featured on The Author Show, is now available in paperback from bookstores, online, or as an ebook exclusively through Amazon Kindle. Terror Strikes, coming soon to a city near you by Joseph M. Leonard. Order today.